Celtic Myths and Legends by T.W. Rolleston. Chapter 5, Tales of the Ultonian Cycle. The Hound of Cullan. When he was old enough, the boy Setanta went to the court of Connor to be brought up and instructed along with the other sons of princes and chieftains. It was now that the event occurred from which he got the name of Cullan, by which he was hereafter to be known. One afternoon, King Connor and his nobles were going to a feast to which they were bidden, at the dune of a wealthy smith named Cullan in Quelgny, where they also meant to spend the night. Setanta was to accompany them, but as the cavalcade set off, he was in the midst of a game of hurley with his companions, and bade the king to go forward, saying he would follow later when his play was done. The royal company arrived at their destination as night began to fall. Cullan received them hospitably, and in the great hall they made merry over meat and wine, while the lord of the house barred the gates of his fortress and let loose outside a huge and ferocious dog, which every night guarded the lonely mansion, and under whose protection, it was said, Cullan feared nothing less than the onset of an army. But they had forgotten Setanta. In the middle of the laughter and music of the feast, a terrible sound was heard, which brought every man to his feet in an instant. It was the tremendous baying of the Hound of Cullan, giving tongue as it saw a stranger approach. Soon the noise changed to the howls of a fierce combat, but, on rushing to the gates, they saw to the glare of the lanterns a young boy, and the hound lying dead at his feet. When it flew at him, he seized it by the throat and dashed its life out against the side post of the gate. Reminds me of the time that I whacked a dog chasing after me with the nearest branch, but I certainly didn't grab it and swing it against things. But you can do that with a dog easier than you can with other animals. But self-defense only. Self-defense only. Be careful with animals. The warriors bore in the lad with rejoicing and wonder, but soon the triumph ceased, for there stood their host, silent and sorrowful over the body of his faithful friend, who had died for the safety of his house, and would never guard it more. Give me, then said the lad, Setanta, a whelp of that hound, O Cullan, and I will train him to be all to you that his sire was. And until then give me shield and spear, I will myself guard your house. Never hound guarded it better than I will. And all the company shouted applause at the generous pledge, and on the spot, as a commemoration of his first deed of valor, they named the lad Cullan, the Hound of Cullan. You know, because Cu is hound. And by that name he was known until he died. It is noticeable that among the characters figuring in the Ultonian legendary cycle, many names occur, of which the word Cu, hound, forms a part. Thus we have Cu-Roy, Cu-Corb, Beal-Cu, etc. The reference is no doubt to the Irish wolfhound, a fine type of valor and beauty. The boy Setanta follows King Connor, and I don't appreciate people shortening You got to be careful with shortening names, because I don't particularly like being called Kook. Don't shorten my name to Kook. Oh, now people are going to call me Kook, but